Ndaba zethu
Awu, akuphilani.
niyaphila Mthiya?
Siyaphila mina. Asikhali.
Na anikali.
Uh,
Uba isikhathi ngolapho.
I'm 1 hour ahead. 8
Oh,
ubusuku.
okay.
Uh,
Oh, okay. That's nice.
yeah.
Um, Thank you very much for accepting a invitation here too and for respecting us with your time. We don't take this opportunity for granted, and it's one of those opportunities we will respect and will always cherish for as long as I live. Actually, ngiyabonga kakhulu.
No, nami ngizibongele, i-football ihlanganisa abantu.
Mm,
Sibonge ne-technology manje ngoba sesikwazi ukukhuluma si-apart, omunye use-South Africa, omunye eTanzania. Nami
mm.
le thuba ngilithathi for granted, it's an opportunity to share and also get to hear ukuthi kwenzakalani on the ground because sihlala sema-ofisini nase-stadium singatholi
True.
ithuba lokuxoxa abantu abakude nathi. So now I appreciate the opportunity. I always like to engage in this thing because isisiza ukuthi nathi sibuyele ebantwini.
Siyabonga kakhulu. First, congratulations on winning the championship. I heard it's the third in the row.
Yes, thank you very much. It's a third in a row. Ngifike sebathathe ama-trophy awu-2. So my coming into the club was also a success because I took another trophy as a CEO. So it feels good and I'm excited. Sometimes you come to a club and you bring bad luck. You come in and they've been winning. You come in, you don't win anything. So that can also be problematic.
You are a serial winner, actually. 2013, you joined the Platinum Stars and immediately 2 trophies within a space of like 6 months.
What I normally say when that accolade is sent to me, I say that we should also be applauding people before me that have started the process. Mine was to come in and just, refine here and there, give confidence and do what I do best and support the technical team, support my players, get the management team going together, and we managed to clinch those titles. So I never want to make this as if it's Senzo. It's a teamwork, and the people before I even joined the club that have started some work ahead of me. So I don't take that for granted. I happen to just maybe tweak a little bit so that we're able to win the trophies.
Well, for the benefits of Abantu who are also joining us from East Africa as well, they might not be aware when we talk about Platinum Stars, it was not a club that was regarded as one of the top teams in South Africa. But your involvement there turned the whole club around, and it became one of the most feared clubs in that era. You were playing finals after finals, and you were an incredible team with incredible players, and the technical team as well was very strong. How did you put together such a strong team in a very short space of time?
I think when I joined Platinum Stars, already the base was there. You would recall that before I joined them, they had finished second on the log the previous year, and they've kept the majority of the team. Unfortunately, the coach was spotted by SuperSport. If you remember, Kevin had to go to SuperSport
Yeah.
for season. So me and Kevin never worked together. We crossed paths. As he was going to SuperSport, I came to Platinum Stars. So obviously somebody would say, but you got it easy. But when you get there, when the team has just lost a few players, Tusopala went to SuperSport that time. Tusopala left Platinum Stars. You had a few players also leaving. So I came in and brought in stability. I remember we in a board meeting, and then the question was raised that now GM, what do we do now that Kevin has left us? You know, there was that thing that we must, take him to PSL and raise a case and all those other things to stop him from me leaving. So I said, no, there's no need. You can't force someone to be with you if he's really not keen, you know. So then we agreed the best thing to do is to keep Jackson, Alan Freeze, because they've been with the team with Kevin for all this time. And there was a move as well from the board to say, no, maybe we must bring another coach. That's when the rumors around Ruud Krol came into the fore. And then, but I stood my ground and said, no, the best thing is to keep these two coaches. They've been working. They finished the preseason with the team, and there's an understanding. We'll support the coaches. I'm sure that they will be able to do well. So that's what happened. Then we went on and we did the wonders that we did, you know.
But maybe sesivele sajampela kumsebenzi wakho from kwi-Platinum Stars. Can you share with us a little bit how did it all start for you? I mean, we know ukuthi sina sikubamba kwi-Bay United, and from Bay United we know ukuthi you went to PSL as a project manager there. PSL Pirates. I heard ukuthi somewhere kuma-Tuks ukuthi you were there. Where did it start?
It actually started in 2001. 2001, I had moved to the University of Pretoria, and I played for the Castle League team, and I played with the most known guy, Utebo Homiyai, at the time. You know, I was his captain. He must confess to people I was his captain when I was there. So I think the whole thing started there. At the time, we were in the Castle League, and then the academy was starting through Steve Hart at the University of Pretoria. There was that special academy which was starting. So I think the amalgamation of the club and the academy came together, you know, and that's when the relationship started with Steve Hart. We played in the Castle team, but I started coaching the under 15s at the time. So I think the whole thing started there. But I think very early on, it was very clear that coaching was not my thing. It's something that I never really liked. And I even said to Coach Steve at the time that, Coach, I see that you are pushing me very hard into coaching. Coaching is not me. Me, I like to get things organized. I like to prepare so that when you come, everything is ready for you. You know, so I think that things started there. Then we did some certificates through the university. We did a lot of upskilling and all those other things. And eventually, when the team won the promotion we had the Vodacom playoffs in Cape Town. Then we won the playoffs, and then we went to play in the National First Division. So from there I was
actually nangu Pratevza mwenyewe usekhona online. No, sorry to disturb.
Yeah. So after we went to NFD, then I was appointed the general manager of the team. I think the whole thing started from there. You know, I was very fortunate to have worked during the era about the late Pradel Leboa at Registrations. You know, I worked with Abu Andrew Dipela at the time. You know, so I was at a very young age. I was given an opportunity to play and be in the space of football. So I think I owe, as Thabo Mbeki would say, I owe my being to the premises that I have spent about 5 years of my life at the University of Pretoria. You know, I was fortunate to be supported. You know, sometimes in life, without support, you cannot really get any far. I also had ambitions of being a pro player, but that opportunity didn't come. You know, but Unkulunkulu had bigger plans for me. Then I joined the Tuks. And, you know, something very strange happened. I think second year, the Queen National First Division, besides Vela League. Where at the training session, I broke my foot. You know, we're playing 2v2 just for warm up. You know, so I remember, I think it's Dumi, the late Dumi Masilel, tried to tackle me, and then he broke my ankle, and then that was it. It was the end of it, you know. But already I was in the administration, already, you know, but Debza continued with the team, and then I stayed in the administration part of the club. So after that, I think third year in the National First Division, there was a opening in Port Elizabeth. So VW had a sponsorship in Morocco Swallows, if you remember.
Yeah.
So the union in Utinage felt that, because this was a build-up to the 2010, I think it was about 2005, 2006, felt that how can we have a plant in Port Elizabeth, but we are sponsoring a team in Johannesburg? What is it for people here in Port Elizabeth? You know, so the funds were made available through the CSI project. So the CSI project made funds available to establish an academy/football club in Port Elizabeth. So then I was recruited by a gentleman called Fanas Engelbrecht, whom I had worked with in the past at the University of Pretoria. Then I went to join Fanas a PE. So when we arrived in PE, we had nothing. So all we had was a fund to establish this club. So what we did, we went also, I must mention, Braveza. Okay, I see that people must mention the years. Now I'm 2005. In 2005, we started 2004 rather. We started Pt1 United from scratch. We bought a franchise in Maritzburg United. That time, if franchise we like 2.5 million. We got a franchise here NFD, and it was expensive at the time. And then in Maritzburg United bought a franchise Izo, if you remember, Tembisa Classic.
Yeah.
Bought
And
Tembisa
you know,
when they went to PSL. We bought each franchise. We brought it to Port Elizabeth. Then we started from zero. No office, no laptop, no brand, nothing. You know, so that's how Bay United started. So we stayed in Bay United, nearly got relegated in the first season. Following season became better. Third season, by the fourth season, we got promoted to the Premier Soccer League. You know, so it's one of those special projects that we had at PE. You know, there's a famous game we played against what's this team? NFD team in FCAK.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember the team.
Yeah, FCAK. So we played them in a second round in my playoff. So I picked the stadium. I did what I need to do as a football man. Did all my things. In Duguzami, Yonkindao, Ngabashaya, plus I win a Samba, Sawina.
And you had a special project, man, definitely.
Yes, I except police in Lana. You cannot just go police and think that things will happen.
Okay, tell me, do you remember 5 May 2013? Where were you? 5 May 2013.
May 2013, 5th.
Yeah.
I think I was
I'll have
wasn't I in
Lubumbashi. You remember that day?
It's one of those. I'm telling you, you know, I've never seen such character in a football team. I've never seen.
Let me disturb you for a second. Let me just tell people what I'm talking about. The 5th of May 2013 was when Orlando Pirates played against TP Mazembe. You can continue.
Yes, we went to TP Mazembe. You know where before you play matches, you have meetings to prepare for the match. You know, everything was fine. You know, our colleagues at Mazembe were speaking English. Everything was cordial. But just 2 hours before kickoff, everything changed, my brother. You go this side, it's closed. You know, very, very hostile environment. Very, very, very hostile. You know, I remember we had Roger was the head coach at the time. throwing his toys out of the court and everything. Willie Okpara was a team manager of the. Okpara is a strong Nigerian guy, really made sure that a change room was open, everything was in order, and to cut the long story short, first 15 minutes, like
Oh, our network. Inetwork yakhe yakhatha kuti Senzo. Yona inetwork yakhe yakhatha. So right manje. Oh, we are losing our CEO. Yeah, Shandu. We seems like we have lost Ushandu for let me remove him. We are going to get Senzo back. Please bear with us. Seems like he's experiencing network issues. Pratebza Munyai, I'm noting you and I'm going to put you online as well. Yeah, let me rather take Neo's advice. We're going to stop and we're going to start. Shandu, ngicela ukuyistopha ngiphinde ngiqale kabusha.
Okay.
All right, thanks man. Can we spend just 30 seconds?
Okay.
Shandu Wandab.
Yes, I'm here.
We are sorry. We lost you while you were still telling us about challenges that you came across in Lubumbashi. Our CEO is experiencing a network issue. Yes, Shandu, you're back.
Yes, I was saying that after the early red card, Gala Kilehwati, and saves from Senzo Meyiwa, the late Senzo Meyiwa, may his soul rest in peace. We've lost an icon there, and every time his name comes up, and I get very sad to know that even his murder has not been solved till today. He was a star on the day, but there was one star away. So this is Onyekachi Okonko.
Oh, Tico.
Utiko that day was I've never seen Utiko Amaple Alawa. He does his own thing, he part of the game. You'll never find him involved in leading or anything. But that day, Utiko led the team. Every time there's a foul, Tiko will waste another 2 or 3 minutes. Every time there was something happening in the pitch, Tiko would be there. Tiko will remonstrate everything that was happening. He will now and then call the team together. He really led that team. Those that were there will remember this very, very well. That Tiko that day, was something else. You know, we always say about our Nigerian brothers that, you know, they've got that thing of aggression and everything. But that day, I saw that in Tico. You know, so
You
it was
you
a
know, you know,
difficult
you
game.
know, you know, while you saw Kuluma about the performance Katiko on that day, there is a young boy at Super Sports United. I think you might have seen image between Super Sports United versus TP Mazembe. There's a boy called Usipo Mbule.
Mbule, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
He dominated the midfield on that day. He even
Scored a
scored a
scorcher.
score. Yeah, true.
Yes.
But yeah, I wanted to remind you of that day, Goba. Lubumbashi was one of those hostile environments. And I know when you go to East Africa, you also experienced those kind of hostility as well. But before we get to your life in East Africa, tell me, without fear or favor, Dar es Salaam Derby or Soweto Derby?
Dar es Salaam Derby.
Okay. Besides the commercial or numerate value, tell me which derby between the Soweto Derby and the Dar es Salaam Derby actually everything just becomes standstill.
Dar es Salaam Kariakou Derby.
I understand that Uganda, Sudan, Rwanda, Burundi, Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia become a standstill when there's a Dar es Salaam Derby.
Yeah, most of those countries, you know, I'm not too sure about Zambia that much. I'm not too sure about Malawi, but, you know, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, you know, they, Zanzibar, Tanzania, they I know for a fact that, you know, we've got a very big foothold, and I know that the support is great that side, you know. So also, you know, it has to do with the broadcast. You know, most of the people in these countries, you know, they've got Azam TV, and that's where the
Mm,
matches are carried. You know, so also it has to do with the broadcast, because it cannot stand still where there's no broadcast. So where there's an Azam pay TV, I think people are able to access our matches.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. So I wanted to get that out of the way. Nguvu Mojo, what does it mean?
Together as one.
Oh, together as one.
Yeah.
Because from well, yeah, with us South Africans, you know very well we are kind of ignorant when it comes to football in Africa. I mean, we started to pay attention when Pirates traveled the continent and started beating teams left, right, and center in the CAF Champions League, in the CAF CC, then Sundowns in 2016 up until now. They are dominating and they are making their presence felt. Can you tell us about the standard of the league in Tanzania?
First of all, you know, I get asked that question a lot of times, and I always answer it in this way. Number one, football most of the time, or football league, is a reflection of the country's well-being most of the time. So what I mean by that, you know, in South Africa, we are
Shandwanda,
yes, I'm here.
we are sorry. We lost you while you were still telling us about challenges that you came across in Lubumbashi. Our CEO is experiencing a network issue. But yes, Tandu, you're back.
Yes, I was saying that after the early red card, Gala Kilehwati, and saves from Senzo Meyiwa, the late Senzo Meyiwa, may his soul rest in peace. We've lost an icon there, and every time his name comes up, and I get very sad to know that even his murder has not been solved till today. He was a star on the day, but there was one star abantu abangekho aware ngaso. This is Onyekachi Okonko.
Oh, Tico.
Utiko that day was I've never seen Utiko amaplayer lawa. He does his own thing, he part of the game. You'll never find him involved in leading or anything. But that day, Utiko led the team. Every time there's a foul, Tiko will waste another 2 or 3 minutes. Every time there was something happening in the pitch, Tiko will be there. Tiko will remonstrate everything that was happening. He will now and then call the team together. He really led that team. Those that were there will remember this very, very well. That Tiko that day was something else. We always say about our Nigerian brothers that they've got that thing of aggression and everything. But that day, I saw that in Tiko. So it was.
While you sakhuluma about the performance Tiko on that day, there is a young boy at Super Sports United. I think you might have seen image between Super Sports United versus TP Mazembe. There's a boy called Usipo Mbule.
Mbule, yes.
He dominated the midfield on that day. He even scored a scorcher. Yeah, true.
Yes.
But I wanted to remind you of that day, Goba. Lubumbashi was one of those hostile environment, and I know when you go to East Africa, you also experienced those kind of hostility as well. But before we get to your life in East Africa, tell me, without fear or favor, Dar es Salaam derby or Soweto derby?
Dar es Salaam derby.
Okay. Besides the commercial or numeric value, tell me which derby between the Soweto derby and the Dar es Salaam derby actually everything just becomes standstill.
Dar es Salaam Kariyaku derby.
I understand that Uganda, Sudan, Rwanda, Burundi, Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia become a standstill when there's a Dar es Salaam derby.
Yeah, most of those countries, I'm not too sure about Zambia that much. I'm not too sure about Malawi, but Rwanda, Uganda,